the other important aspect that you spoke of, and I think that's something that the market is also watching very closely, is the government's dividend policy. And perhaps you could shed some light on how you're looking at the dividend policy going forward as well.
Very good question. A fair dividend policy is part of our integrated disinvestment framework. And the reason is almost the same reason as the monetary policy. Essentially, it is the discretion versus rule, which is also called time consistency. And it's a very careful optimization between the investors and the traders. We don't give any targets to the private sector. We allow them to freely operate in the capital markets. For the public sector, we want them to be benchmarks. And so we create that nudge. And over the last 10 years, we have debated this internally. The policy framework has evolved and matured. And we now ensure that public enterprises who have moved bravely onto the capital markets and have won the trust of investors should pay 30% of their profit after tax or 4% of their net worth, whichever is higher, as fair dividends to small investors. And this has picked up. If you see in the last 5 years, the dividends payout by the public sector enterprises has doubled. And even though they occupy only 14% of the market cap in our capital markets, they pay 25% of dividends to the small investors.
So that will continue?
That will continue, and it will be, they achieved a record landmark last year. Almost 1,20,000 crores was distributed as total dividends, and we hope to exceed it this year.
You hope to exceed that number this year, 1,20,000 crores. IPOs, and I want to go back to that because the last big blockbuster from the government, of course, was the LIC IPO. What's the thinking? What would you like to prioritize in terms of the IPO pipeline? We talked about how strong the appetite has been as far as the primary markets are concerned. What would the government like to prioritize, given the global challenges as well as the appetite in the market from an IPO perspective?
Good. We are doing investor meetings and market research. You should expect that at least some public enterprises in the strategic sector or natural resources space, or maybe their subsidiaries, will be brought out and placed suitably.
So natural resources space. So you've given us a clear heads up there in terms of what the priority is likely to be, sectorally at least at this point in time. Okay. And how soon can we expect you to look at hitting the markets?
End of financial year. Anything before that.
This financial year. So that's the target. And how many are you working towards, sir?
No comments.
Okay. Fair enough.